I'll take you back to 1995, and that is the White Angel Hakushi.
Very close to being on mine, Johnny.
Yeah.
So back then, there was no one else like him in the company. He just completely stood out. He was managed by Shinja, I think it was Shinja, who was actually a member of the Orient Express a few years earlier.
Yeah, he come down in a completely white uniform and with a white face.
That's right, yeah, he was completely white.
I remember, yeah.
Yes.
And Hakushi was also completely in white. He looked a bit like Raiden from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
And then when he took all the white off, he was completely covered in tattoos. Symbols over the face, front,
he looked
back,
really
everywhere.
cool.
Yeah. There was no one else like him. He just completely stood out. Straight away, he was put into the feud with Bret Hart.
Yep.
And carrying a bag around with him, and it had like a severed head of Bret Hart in there.
Yeah, it's unreal.
You could say that he was like the original Al Snow.
Yeah.
I
mean, when we talk about things, fuck me, what they did in the Attitude Era, that is 10 times worse.
Yeah.
I mean, and I have seen it on YouTube because it was censored everywhere. But guys, if you do want to see that, it's still on YouTube. It's not on the network on any. That has been taken off.
I even remember him saying, "Oh, they've got a severed Bret Hart head in his bag."
Yeah, they did.
And, he was just carrying it everywhere with him.
Yeah.
So that went on for a little while, and then I remember it was at SummerSlam 1995. He went into a bit of a feud with the 1-2-3 Kid, and for that time there was no one like him. They were both completely different to everybody else.
I completely agree.
This was even before the Cruiserweight division in WCW. This was just this Japanese guy come over, 1-2-3 Kid had all these high-flying moves, and it really is a great match. It's definitely worth watching. But then it kind of sort of all went sort of downhill. He somehow got into the feud between Barry Horowitz and Chris Candido, Skip of the Body Dummies.
Yeah, and it's so sad because he was worth so much more than that.
He has so much potential.
Yeah. Can I just interject something, Johnny? Because he was actually on my standby list, and I totally agree with you on Hakushi. His first match with Bret, In Your House 1. I think Bret had to face Jerry Lawler later.
He did, yes, that's right.
It's a fantastic match.
Oh, it is.
The in-ring work is unreal. Now, the story I want to tell you is that I think it may have been Bruce Pritchard or an agent. Somebody told Vince that they've got an opponent for The Undertaker. And it was Hakushi.
Okay.
And Vince hadn't seen him. And it was originally supposed to be booked as an Undertaker opponent. And when he saw him, he couldn't believe how small he was.
Right.
And he totally gave up on him.
Wow. It's interesting though about The Undertaker because they do go on to have a match later on. But I was put into this feud with Barry Horowitz and Skip. And then Barry Horowitz and Hakushi start becoming friends.
I remember, John, I don't know if you remember this as well, there was a really horrible Survivor Series 1995 match where there was like a bunch of jobbers against a bunch of jobbers, and Hakushi was in there and he had no right to be in there. He had far too much talent. Yeah,
they was losing to everybody, and then the end just came when JBL, who was Justin Hawk Bradshaw at the time, defeated him, and Hakushi was just gone. And the way they explained it was Hakushi was so embarrassed by the loss, he just went back to Japan.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yep.
And the thing is, he never came back to the WWF again. And this was 1995. And he never went to WCW, even in the Cruiserweight division. He was never part of it.
He literally just went, fuck, I'm done.
Yeah, he went back to Japan.
Yeah, he made one appearance in ECW where he teamed with Hayabusa against Sabu and Rob Van Dam in 1998.
Nice.
And I think the WWF came over to Japan in 1998, and he actually had a couple of matches with The Undertaker there as well.
Oh, shit.
But that was it. He had a great career in Japan and stayed over there.
They made the match that Hakushi was dead and that he rose again.
Right.
Yeah.
And then The Undertaker beat him anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just a shame because he was so different to everybody else.
Yeah, he was. I think the feud with Bret Hart was over Bret Hart winning Superstar of the Year. He was given a trophy.
That's right.
And Hakushi attacked him from behind as his debut and smashed the trophy.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it.
We've picked so far been a fuck up by WWE. Shame on you, Vince.
Similar to Chris Masters, the guy in real life is an absolute hero. During the earthquakes in Japan, and I think it was, do you remember the chemical problem over there?
Yeah.
Yes.
He was seen helping people on his own like a hero, dragging people out of debris, and he was totally selfless. He went
In that case,
because they thought that he was involved in it, and he wasn't. He went there just to help everyone out, and he was saving lives.
I think he's done quite well in Japan. I think he's basically, he's like the president of one of the companies over there.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's New Japan or something.
It's well deserved, and I always had a soft spot for him. I thought that he was a lot better than he was given credit for. Yeah. A lot of people laugh at his gimmick and they saw it as silly. I never did. I thought he looked cool.
He was
looked
great.
fucking badass.
Because I thought I was the only one for a while. Because I remember, do you remember WWE used to show a silly gimmicks package? They used to have silly music on it.
Yes.
And Hakushi was in there, and I never got why Hakushi was in there.
It was too good to be in there. He just didn't deserve to be.
Yeah, it's a shame.
But it's mad that he never went to WCW as well, when they had all the Japanese guys coming over, cruiserweights, everything.
I reckon, Johnny, it was over maybe the fact of the miscommunication with Vince. I reckon he had enough and thought that his bread was better buttered in Japan. Which seems the case, really, doesn't it? Yeah, great pick, mate.
If you're searching for a wrestling podcast that's filled with fun,
This is definitely Davey Boy Smith's finest fucking moment.
He goes, he fell on his ass. He fell on his ass.
Couple of haters.
Couple haters.
That's staying in.
wrestling nostalgia.
But I will take you back to May 26th, 1996. It was a stormy night. The wind was howling.
Latest pro wrestling news and rumours.
We've heard about the situations between WWE, Sasha Banks and Naomi.
And hilarious tangents.
Let's not tangent off. No Samoan spikes.
That's it.
Fucking tangents.
Then look no further. Join your hosts James, Stu and Johnny and subscribe to Top Turnbuckle Podcast.